Dear friends, this video is about the culture of secrecy in judicial appointments salient, why for and what for. This video explains. The Supreme Court of India and High Court judges in India are appointed by the President of India by using the collegium system. What is collegium? A collegium is the system in India where senior judges choose, that is appoint, and transfer other judges for the Supreme Court and High Courts in India. It means collegium is not a constitutional one or mandatory one, but it is a creation of the judiciary itself. The point herein is that under Article 14 and 16 of the Indian Constitution, it guarantees equality and equal opportunities for every citizens of India, that is in making public employment. That is, in Secretary State of Karnataka and others versus Uma Devi in 2006, the Supreme Court held that appointments to public office cannot be made through backdoor methods and must ordinarily follow a transparent procedure open to eligible candidates. The point herein is that the same yardsticks why should not be made to the appointment of judges in Supreme Court and High Courts according to the rules and regulations, and also under Article 14 and 16 of the Indian Constitution. The point here is that in the Constitution there is no reservation system for the excluded minorities, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and other religious minority. But on the basis of merit coming experiences in the judicial jurisprudence, the social inclusion, that is giving a priority in appointments of judicial officers in High Courts and Supreme Courts shall be made based on social justice reservation system, as it has been happening in the case of appointment of all other administrative force in Supreme Court and High Courts. As per reservation system, why not in Supreme Court and High Court? This is a priority questions. Whereas in the case of Supreme Court and High Courts, there is no transparency and fairness and equality. In the case of the first judge's case in 1981, it gave the executive supremacy power in appointment of judicial officers. The second judge's case in 1993 shifted it to the primacy of the selecting judicial officers formed opinion of the CJI and other senior judges. The third judge's case 1991 98 expanded it to 5-member collegium. The fourth judge's case, that is 2015, Judicial Appointments Commission, that is NJSC, and the Supreme Court of India has made that NJSC Act and the 99th Amendment in this regard as null and void and unconstitutional. The point here is that in the case of the Supreme Court of India, in the guise of maintaining the independence of the judiciary, it is making all these judgments and for its independency and its powers to ensure the fundamental rights, the other constitutional rights of the citizens of this country is good. But the point here is that why no that is a reservation system on social justice based on in India shall be applied to the judicial officers in India is a big question mark, and the nepotism that is being followed in selecting the judicial officers in high courts and supreme courts shall be ended with. Hence, in the larger interest of judicial jurisprudence of this country, the criticism of the public has enormously enlarged in the case of judicial system because of its corruptive and unfairness delivery of judgments recently against the working class, patients and pensioners, and many other cases. They are tilting to the executive interest, the interest of the policy makers, hence in the larger interest of the Supreme Court of India and High Court as constitutional courts. Social equality, that is, social justice system should be introduced in selecting the judicial officers, and transparency must be allowed in judiciary. In the case of making any application under the Right to Information Act, it should be given answers to the citizens of this country. Hence, in the larger interests of the fundamental rights and the other constitutional ethos and other values of the Constitution, the secrecy of judicial appointments in high courts and supreme courts shall end, and it must be made with transparency and social justice norms inclusive in the recruitment system. This is the message of this video. Thank you so much.